Hi guys, welcome back to my new manga haul video for July 2024. I have 25 different manga series to introduce in this video, and these are some of the latest manga from Japan. I got them from either Animate or Mercari as usual. There are actually so many manga series that I have to spend some time thinking about which manga to start first. So firstly, we have One Piece Volume 109. The recent chapters have been absolutely amazing. I love how they present the Kuma story. There are thousands of characters in One Piece, and Kuma is one of my favorites. I'm also very hyped for the One Piece anime remake coming from Wit Studio. Next up, we have Oshinoko Volume 15. We have both Akane and Kana on the cover this time, and I love it so much, it's so cute. Season 2 of the anime is currently airing, and the quality is absolutely peak for sure. Tokyo Blade is my favorite arc in Oshinoko. It is so good, and I love how much passion the studio put into this project. I've heard that the manga is gonna end pretty soon, so I really hope that they will have a good ending. It's really hard to tell how the ending is gonna be like. Next up, we have Choujin X Volume 10. I am slowly catching up with Choujin X. If you haven't read this yet, please give it a try, it is so freaking good. Coming from the author of Tokyo Ghoul, the presentation of the story is so incredible, and I know this sounds vague, but if you have read it before, you'll know what I mean. If you're a fan of series like Chainsaw Man, Choujin X is a must-read in my opinion. Next up, MamaYuyu Volume 3 from Weekly Shonen Jump. It has such a good concept about demon lords and heroes from different worlds gathering together in one world, but sadly it's getting cancelled by Shonen Jump. It's gonna end in the next volume, Volume 4, but this author is pretty new, pretty young, so I can't wait for the new work. Next up, we have Nue's Exorcist Volume 5. Remember how I said at first that the story is really boring? Well, there are still some chapters that is quite boring, but overall the story is getting interesting. We get to see more of the world building and some more key characters, so I am pretty excited for the future of this series. Next up, Kagurabachi Volume 3. I am calling it here, this is gonna be the new Shonen Jump King, and you can see that Naruto's author also recommended this series. The story is very clear from the get-go. Our male MC is trying to seek revenge for his father, and he's trying to get all of his stolen swords back. The pacing of the story is also quite intense, and I would highly recommend it if you're a fan of action shonen. Then we have Witch Watch Volume 17. We finally got an anime adaptation announcement, and I am so excited for this. If you didn't know, the author helped on Gintama before, so the series is pretty damn funny. Next up, we have Gachiakuta Volume 11. Finally, we are getting an anime adaptation, and it's from Studio Bones. This is huge, and I have super high expectations for the anime. Next up, Mato Seihei Volume 16, and this time we have Belle on the cover. It is no doubt a masterpiece in the fanservice genre. They announced a studio change for Season 2 of the anime, and the world is gonna witness the greatness of Ren Yamashiro. If you're a fan of the anime, please also read the manga. I think you will enjoy it even more than the anime. Next up, we have a new manga called Akanabe-sensei Doesn't Know About Embarrassment. It's a romance, slice of life series that has a pretty high review. Apparently, our female MC is a manga artist, and the male MC is her assistant. The female MC looks like a kudere, so she is pretty cool and shows little emotions. Sounds pretty funny. I'll let you know what I think about it when the second volume is out. Next up, The Classroom of a Black Cat and a Witch Volume 8. The story revolves around a magic academy, and it's pretty interesting, especially for the current arc. I can't wait to see the fight between these two childhood friends. The author also worked on Boarding School Juliet before, as you can see from this bonus card. This is going to be the last time we are getting a card. Next up, Dan Da Dan Volume 15. I am super hyped for the anime. The trailers look so good, exactly what I wanted, and it's gonna start airing really soon in October. The story is mainly an action shonen, but there are tons of different elements mixed in it. So there's romance, comedy, supernatural, sci-fi, and literally everything you can ever think of. It is just so fun and I would highly recommend this manga. Next up, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You Volume 5. It's a romance slice of life story about working adults, and our male and female MCs love to smoke. There's no crazy drama in this story, it is wholesome and refreshing, and I love to read it after a full day of hard work. Some of the bonus items we got from Animate, so we have a bookmark, a sticker, and an extra manga. Next up, 7 Sleeping Beauties Volume 5. It's a cute rom-com involving 7 princesses and a prince from another country. The story takes place in a fantasy world, so there are magics and things like that. The plot is pretty fine, but what I love about this manga is the art style. It is so cute. Next up, Now That We Draw Volume 3. It's a really good rom-com, and it's also recommended by Anako, the top cosplayer from Japan. The story is about an extroverted gyaru and an introverted guy, and both of them want to be manga artists. The art of this rom-com is absolutely amazing, as you can see. You can strongly feel the characters' emotions from the art, and I would strongly recommend this if you're a fan of rom-com. Bonus cards from Animate featuring the female MC. Next up, Kindergarten Wars Volume 10. I'm catching up with this manga, but the story gets better and better the more you read. It's also quite funny. Next up, we have 2.5 Dimensional Seduction Volume 20. I thought this series was ending because everyone is on the cover, but don't worry, the anime has just started and I hope they have a long way to go. The anime adaptation is pretty much what I expected, the quality is consistent, we haven't seen any crazy animation work yet, but we are still not at the good part. It's gonna air for 2 cours continuously, and trust me, the story is gonna get so fire later on. This is a series written for all otakus or weeps, so it's a must read. Next up, we have a new manga called You Still Call Yourself a Teacher? If you can't tell, this is a fanservice manga and there are 4 teacher waifus. There's some comedy in it as well, so we're gonna see if it's actually funny. Let's do a quick flip through. Not gonna lie, the art looks pretty good and that's why I got it. And this is the bonus card from Animate. Next up, I Want to See You Embarrassed Volume 8. Absolutely insane cover art, but it's still safe for YouTube. This is a top tier fanservice manga, just slightly below Mato Seihei, I would say. We also have a full color version of the fanservice scenes that was released on the same date. We can all agree that art is essential to every fanservice manga, and this series is peak art content. So the main story is about a girl who wants to be filmed and a guy who likes to film. It's pretty interesting and there are not many characters in the manga. There's a bit of growing romance in it as well, so I would highly recommend it to anyone looking for a good fanservice and romance manga. Amazing bonus cards from Animate. Next up, Shino and Ren Volume 2. This couple is so cute and it's a must read if you're a fan of Yuri. The interesting part about this manga is that both characters are total opposites, so it's pretty fun seeing their interactions. This manga is pretty huge compared to the shonen mangas. Also, the entire manga is in full color and the printing quality is really good. Just like Volume 1, we get a huge bonus card from Animate featuring the 2 characters. Next up, we have Masame-kun's Revenge, New Edition Volume 7. I believe this is like the epilogue of the story, and it's the final volume of the entire series that concludes it. So essentially, it's the story after the second season of the anime if you have watched it. We'll get to see the adult version of the characters. Next up, Goddess Cafe Terrace Volume 15. This one was released quite a while ago, but I just received it. I am purely a manga reader because the quality of the anime looks pretty bad, to be honest. Surprisingly, Oka was voted as the favorite heroine in the latest poll. I think previously it was Akane. I also got volume 16, which is the latest one. We have Riho on the cover and she's my favorite heroine. This rom-com manga is actually pretty good later on in the story, so please check it out. Also, I don't think I mentioned it before, but the author's art style is really clean. Next up, volume 13 of The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. I finally started reading this manga and it's so wholesome. You can't call yourself a fan of romance if you don't read this manga, it's so good. Next we have 4 volumes of Tune In to the Midnight Heart. I actually got the recommendation from other YouTubers and I saw it on Mercari, so I just got them immediately. This is a new rom-com manga that started in September last year, and you can see that it is recommended by Kana Hanazawa, the voice actor. There are 4 heroines in this series and they all want to do a job where they can make full use of their voices. I'm guessing it's voice actors, radio hosts, or something like that. Here's the interesting part. Our male MC used to listen to a radio host called Apollo, and this Apollo is supposed to be one of the 4 heroines. The plot is really intriguing, so maybe I'll make a video to talk about this once I started reading it. Bonus cards with all heroines in their swimsuits, they really know what they're doing. Also, I got a magazine called New Type, and I believe this is a monthly anime magazine. Obviously, it's because of Oshinoko on the cover, which I absolutely love. So in this magazine, we get a lot of interviews from the voice actors, production staffs. This volume has a lot of Oshinoko content, but it also covers other anime from the current season, which is summer 2024. Usually a poster is included here as well, and here we can see Ana Yanami, which is one of the best girls of the season for sure. The back there, it's a character from the new Code Geass anime, but I'm not watching it. Finally, we got the 3rd volume of New Game Complete Edition. It's a really cute slice of life series taking place in a video game company. The author's art style has definitely evolved over time, but it still looks pretty good back then. This is a really high quality print, so if you're a fan of New Game or slice of life in general, I would highly recommend collecting this. This video is longer than usual, but thank you for your support. I hope you find it useful for your next manga read. If you have any recommendations for me, feel free to comment down below, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!